Many years ago, one of our members was taken by his parents to an anti-cult deprogrammer in California. And the deprogrammer, who apparently was also a church pastor, made him read the Sermon on the Mount backwards, having convinced the young man's parents that it would help to free him from the stronghold that the teachings of Jesus had made on his life. How ironic that a recognized minister in the so-called Christian church should resort to satanic hocus pocus in his efforts to overcome what he was calling heresy in our own attraction to the teachings of Jesus. But the deprogrammer was only doing what pretty much happens in churches all over the world every Sunday. Yes, he was reading the Bible, but he was doing so with total disregard for what it was saying. Such faith in the Bible is little more than superstition. Now, we Jesus Christians tend to read the Bible like we would read any other book. We try to understand what it is saying and honestly learn stuff from it. But we don't accept all of it as being equally perfect. There is a lot that we simply don't understand, but it does not stop us from benefiting from what we do understand. If we were to sit our opponents down at one end of the table with almost any of our members who has been following Jesus for a year or more at the other end, there would hardly be a verse in the entire four Gospels that our critics would not stumble over when the Jesus Christian participants started questioning what our opponents teach as substitutes for the teachings of Jesus. Our critics say that we Jesus Christians read the Bible incorrectly. They say that there are secret messages in it that we will only discover when we stop trying to read it like any other book. They more or less argue that spiritual superiority allows one to reverse everything that Jesus said, which is why I say that they are reading the four Gospels backwards. It's reassuring to me that churches would never agree to a debate like the one I mentioned if it was done in front of an audience that is not already committed to reading the Bible the way they do. See, the average person, like ourselves, can usually spot irrational superstition more easily than those whose favorite doctrines rely almost entirely on what they call mysteries. There is an overwhelming clarity that comes from just letting the Bible speak for itself. Trying to force it to support various man-made doctrines is what makes the Bible seem far more complicated than it really is. In particular, when we make the teachings of Jesus the cornerstone by which to judge everything else in the Bible, we can accept that some things are at least going to sound like they contradict what Jesus taught. So we just let go of those things and focus on making Jesus the standard. Suddenly, the pieces start coming together, enabling us to rightly divide truth from human error. Try it and see for yourself how true this is. And please take the time to view other videos on this channel that are shown on the screen at the moment. They should help you to more fully appreciate how God has used Scripture to glorify Himself and His Son Jesus. God bless you, and thank you for listening.